finally doing this again, ever since we failed at Line 'em Up. Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the common game show about guts, nerve, and knowledge is finally here, and we're trying to do this in a VRChat style way, but not really, trying to also appeal for the blind. Yeah, this is an idea that we came up with, and we're going to try to prove it, because our first contestant is Zane.
Hello.
How you doing, Zane?
I'm fine, thank you.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself before we start?
I'm just a person who loves classic game shows, and yeah, pretty much we'll say.
Yeah, short and sweet to the point, aren't we?
Yes, I am. I am.
Well, let me also quickly remind you of the rules before we start. You are currently 15 questions from winning $1 million. But I must warn you, if you give me a single incorrect answer along the way, you are going home with nothing. But to help you out, if you hit the $1,000 or $32,000 questions, you are guaranteed to keep that money absolutely no matter what. And you have 3 lifelines that can help you out. 50-50, which eliminates 2 incorrect answers. Phone a friend, which will allow you to call any member of the audience that we have in the Discord call right now. Or you can ask me with Ask the Host, which will allow you to ask me any of the 15 questions that are provided. You can walk away with the money that you have earned at any point. Any questions, Zane?
No, I have no questions.
Alright, I guess we're ready to play. Let's play! Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Alright, first question is for $100, Zane. Which of the following mythological creatures breathes fire? Unicorn, dragon, centaur, high school principal.
B, dragon.
Final
answer.
And you got yourself $100. Next one's for $200. Proverbially, when you reveal a secret, you let the cat out of the what? The bag? The bin? The box? The pocket?
The bag. A. Final.
Alright. And that's $200. Okay, going for 3. What does www stand for in an internet address? World Wrestling Web, Windows Worldwide, Wild Worldwide, World Wide Web.
D, World Wide Web.
Final?
Final.
Alright. Said D.
Mm-hmm.
And you have $300. Going for 500 next. Which of these is not one of Santa's original reindeer? Vixen, Dasher, Dancer, Crasher.
B, Crasher.
Final?
Final.
Okay. That's $500 in your bank. This next one will give you a safe haven of $1,000, which will be yours no matter what. And here it is. Which city was the hometown for the Beatles? Manchester, Liverpool, London, Birmingham.
B, Liverpool. Final.
Alright, he says Liverpool. And you have your first $1,000. Okay, Zane, you got your first $1,000. How you feel?
I feel great.
Well, you're gonna feel a lot better in a second. This next one's $2,000 you're playing for. Nostradamus was famous for making what? Predictions, violins, jewelry, sculptures.
A, predictions. Final answer.
Alright. Nothing risked here, but you got $2,000. All right, going for 4,000. What were the character names of Leonardo DiCaprio's and Kate Winslet's in Titanic? Jack and Jill, Jack and Sarah, Jack and Rose, Jack and Diane.
Oh man.
Still have all 3 of your lifelines, by the way.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna go C as my final answer.
All right. You had $2,000. You now have $4,000. Doing pretty good, Zane. You're about, I believe, 8 away from the million. This next one's for 8,000. What becomes dislocated when the humerus slips out of joint? Thumb, hip, shoulder, jaw.
Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, humerus is in your thumb. The jawbone is one of your strongest in your body. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do my 50-50, please.
Final?
Final with that one.
All right, computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers, leaving the right one and the remaining wrong one. You have shoulder and jaw left.
And that's what I was gonna think this was gonna leave me. I'm gonna say C is my final answer, please.
Okay. C, please. Thank you very much. Burned a 50-50 on this one, but you got it right.
Well, sometimes you can't ever be sure.
Yeah, you can never be sure. It's always nice to have those lifelines. And you're going for 16,000 now. The girl in the polka dot dress was an eyewitness in whose assassination? Martin Luther King Jr., Robert F. Kennedy, Malcolm X, John Lennon.
Well, I know it is not B because Robert F. Kennedy has an eyewitness who was a boy. And so I think it is either gotta be C or D.
You still have 2 lifelines.
But I'm thinking I'm to take a guess. I might go ahead and
I'm gonna need an answer.
I'm gonna say it is D, John Lennon. Final answer.
All right. You know how you eliminated Robert F. Kennedy? I'm sorry, unfortunately. It was, in fact, Robert F. Kennedy.
Oh boy.
But you still have $1,000 at the very least.
Yeah.
Alright. We hope to see you again soon. Bomber! Bomber from Zane, unfortunately. Hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, Zane's back in the audience. And our next contestant is going to be Akocha!
Hey.
That's a name that we haven't seen in a long time. How you doing?
I mean, pretty good.
That's always nice to hear. You want to tell everybody at home what you do?
Sure. Well, for me, I started to play PC VR, and that has been going pretty good for me.
I'd assume so. Well, welcome to the hot seat. I'm assuming you know the rules.
Yes, I do.
You know the rules, you know the lifelines. Alright, let's play.
Alright.
First question for $100. Which 4 letters can go before vision and phone? Info, Xylo, Gram, Tele.
Now let's see if I remember this correctly. Let's see. Before vision and phone. Well, I know it's not A or B. I know that for sure. I think it had to be either C or D. You know what? I'm going to take a guess here, and I'm going to say it's D. Final answer.
Alright. There's an easy $100.
Yay! Woohoo!
But we still got a long way to go. We're going for 200.
Okay.
Which of these is not a herb?
Ooh.
Lavender, thyme, carnation, charmaline.
Which is not an herb? Well, no, it can't be lavender or thyme, so I think it's either C or D. Can I do 50-50 please and see what comes up?
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers. You're left with carnation and charmaline.
Alright, I'm glad I didn't choose A or B. Alright, I think I'm gonna go for... Okay, again, you know it's not C, so I think it might have to be D. So again, I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to say it's D, final answer.
Alright. Oh no, Coach. It was carnation. Oh no, I'm so sorry to see you go so early. But I hope you had a fun time, Akocha.
I did, yes.
Alright, we hope to see you again really soon.
Yep.
Ah, bummer! Again, homage, dude. Okay, now we have to send him back into the audience real quick. And I am going to summon Scott Egberg if he wants to play. Alright, Scott Egberg.
Hey!
Scott!
Look at this millionaire stuff.
Yeah, we got the ABC Jimmy Kimmel edition. Yeah, we finally got the budget for it. How you doing?
Pretty good. And yeah, I've been playing Millionaire a lot on some of the versions.
I see. Do you think that's probably going to come in handy for this time around?
I think so. By the way, why is Toy Bonnie here?
Well, it's VR. We can do anything we want.
Okay.
Well, you know the rules, you know the lifelines like the last two. I hope you know that.
Wait, no, ask the audience?
Yeah, no ask the audience. We have to replace that with ask the host.
Okay, I just really like the classic lifelines.
Well, we could have used the classics, but nobody would have used them. You ready to play?
Anyway, I'm ready to play.
Alright, let's play! First question for $100. By what name is sodium chloride more commonly known? Ketchup, salt, pepper, mustard.
It's B, salt, final answer.
Says salt. Dude, you missed some salt. That's what I said. Sodium chloride.
Alright, let's go.
200 now. Which filmmaker has a lot of movie work done on the Skywalker Ranch? Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola, Luke Skywalker.
Ooh. I know it's not gonna be D, because I think it's just funny answer. Filmmaker got a lot of movie work done on the Skywalker Ranch.
Well, again, you do have your 3 lifelines to help you out, but I'm not sure if you want to use them this early.
Feel like you need a bird one this early.
I mean, it's okay if you have to.
Yeah. Like I know 2 of the filmmakers, Spielberg and Lucas. I think I need to ask the host here.
Okay, well, you know what I think? I think I might have a little bit of a clue, so Skywalker Ranch. I can definitely say it's got something to do with Star Wars, so it's not Luke Skywalker or Steven Spielberg. He worked on pieces such as Jurassic Park, Jaws, all that stuff. If it was me, I'd be torn apart from Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas. I'm not 100% on this, though. But if I had to take an honest shot in the dark, from the looks of it, I would say these questions are here to mess with us, but I'd say it's George Lucas, and if it were me, I would make George Lucas my final answer.
Well, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with you, B. George Lucas, final answer.
Alright, but it ain't up to me to find that out. It's up to the computer to show it off. Computer, has he gotten $200 or he's already out like a cocha? There you go.
Alright, it's George Lucas, Star Wars.
Going for 300.
Skywalker.
Hawaiian and electric are types of which musical instrument? Viola, organ, piccolo, guitar.
This one, I don't need a lifeline for this one. It's D, guitar, final answer.
Wants guitar. And that's an easy $300.
Yeah, I don't need a lifeline for that.
500 now. Leaping is a nickname for a person who was born on what date? January 1st, February 29th, April 20th, December 25th.
B, February 29th, final answer.
February 29th. They are called that because they were born on a leap year. That is correct. Next one is a guaranteed $1,000 if you can get this one right. Which of these animals is a parasite? wolf, honeybee, rabbit, tick.
I think D, tick. Final answer?
Alright, he wants a tick. Have you gotten your dogs checked for ticks? Scott?
Huh?
Have you gotten your dogs checked for ticks?
Well, we used to have a dog. Daisy's a German Shepherd, but I don't know if we check for ticks are the best.
Well, here's $1,000 to do that.
Okay.
Alright! First $1,000. You must be feeling stoked.
Yeah.
Alright, this next one is going to double you up to $2,000. A Zamboni is a machine used to do what? Reset bowling pins. Shoot tennis balls. Trim golf greens. Resurface ice rinks.
D, we service the ice rinks. Final answer.
You got $2,000.
Yeah. The bowling pins is the pin setter and the others.
Yeah, but it's only going to get harder from here. Here's a $4,000. Peter Sellers plays which doctor in a Stanley Kubrick film? Strange Love. Evil. No. Weird.
Oh. I don't think I ever heard any of these doctors.
Haven't heard of Dr. No, but I have heard of Dr. Nar.
I think I may need to use a 50-50 on this.
Okay, we can do that for you. Computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers. You're left with Strange Love and Weird.
Yeah, the only doctor I think I can know of is Dr. Strangelove, so I'm going with A, final answer.
Alright, he's going with Dr. Strangelove. And you made the right decision. You got $4,000.
Right! Like, Dr. Rear? That's not a real doctor.
Alright, we're at the $8,000 mark, but you only have 1 lifeline left, unfortunately. Here's your $8,000. What did the Manhattan Project develop? Subways. Atomic weapons. Antibiotics. Skyscrapers.
I'm between subways and skyscrapers here. Between subways and skyscrapers, I don't think they did atomic weapons or antibiotics.
Well, if you don't know for sure, you do have that 1 lifeline left.
Alright, let's phone a friend.
Alright, who do you want to call in mind? Who in this chat do you want to call?
Hold up, let me check.
We've got
Here,
TGR, we got Cody, we got Polo, we got all the people in there.
I am calling TGR.
Alright, 1 moment, we'll get TGR on the line.
Hello. Thank you for calling Premier Auto Group of South Florida. Your call is very important to us. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, one of our agents will get back to you soon. Please leave a message after the tone, or you can dial us back at this same number for a quicker response.
Come on, dude. TGR, are you there?
Hello? Who is this? I'm trying to sleep.
I'm Plushrick Singh from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I got your friend Scott Egberg on the line.
Sorry, I'm not interested in the market. Call back tomorrow.
Well, he's going for $8,000 whether you like it or not. And he needs your help desperately.
Alright, put me on.
Okay, Scott, once I start the timer, you're going to have 30 seconds to speak with TGR to read him the question and the 4 possible choices. But once those 30 seconds are up, I'm going to have to send TGR back to the audience. Are you ready?
Ready?
Alright, your time starts now!
Go.
Okay, TTR. What did the Manhattan Project develop? Subways, atomic weapons, antibiotics, or skyscrapers?
The Manhattan Project was mentioned in the movie Oppenheimer as it involved the development of the nuclear bomb used to bomb Hiroshima in Japan. So I'm going to say your best guess is B, atomic weapons.
How confident are you?
You don't know me. Goodbye.
Well, it seemed like he was very confident in his saying of atomic weapons. You can go with that, or you could just walk away with the 4,000 you already have. It's all up to you.
TGR said he's not very confident about the atomic weapons. I think it's be safe for me to walk away.
You're gonna walk away from this thing. Final answer.
Final answer.
Alright. $4,000 is yours. But just for fun, what would you have said? Would you have still said atomic weapons and went with TGR?
I think so, yeah.
Well, you should have listened to him. It was atomic weapons.
Oh, man. That's why I didn't watch Oppenheimer.
Well, TGR was very confident, but hey, you got $4,000 to walk away with.
Alright, let me go back to the audience.
Alright, we'll see you soon. And I think we have time for one more contestant. Let's do Cody Smart. Let's get him up here. Cody! If you're here.
Alright, I am finally here.
You are our final contestant on tonight's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. How you doing?
Alright, I suppose I just stole into the studio and there you are.
Yep. I'm here in a physical form, finally. You want to tell
This
everybody
dog
what you...
that's not Five Nights in Anime.
Yeah. If we did that, we'd be demonetized pretty quickly. And therefore, the studio would cut our funding. So
That's Papa for you.
So I assume you know the rules, you know the lifelines. I hope you're ready to play.
I just wish the screen would be a bit more full screen than this, I'll give you that much.
Well, what can you do? It's probably going to look a lot better on YouTube than it is here. So, without further ado, let's play. First question for 100. Which one of these describes something which causes stress or anxiety? Knee-racking, nerve-wracking, noodle-racking, nose-racking.
The only thing I've ever heard of is nerve-wracking, so I'm gonna go with B, nerve-wracking, fine.
Alright, that's an easy $100. Now for 200. According to folklore, what does the Sandman help children do? Sleep, grow, cross the road, build sandcastles.
Oh, for the love of Pete. When you're Mr. Salmon, you try to give them a dream, and when you dream, you go to sleep. So I'm gonna say A, sleep, final.
Asleep. I only know this because I watched Rise of the Guardians, so yeah, you're right. Going for 300. Which television program features Big Bird and Elmo? Peppa Pig, Blue's Clues, Sesame Street, The Simpsons.
Even if I don't see option C and D, barely any, I'm gonna say C, Sesame Street, final answer.
He's going with Sesame Street. And you have 300. Okay, we're going for 500. The national flag of Japan features what colored disc on a white background? Blue, green, red, yellow.
C, red, final.
He's going with C, red. And that is correct for 500. First threshold for you, Cody. Oh, freezing up here a little bit. There we go. For 1,000. In geology, what is the name of a fracture in the Earth's crust? Warp, fault, taint, scratch.
Uh-oh, that seems like a tricky one. You know, I'm not really an expert in geology, but on the flip side, it's quite early to consider a lifeline at this point. This one sounds like a tricky one. There's one that's calling for me, but I'm not 100% sure if that's him. I'm only 80% sure about it. But the only reason why I know is because there's a fault in the switch. Like it's some sort of glitch. I don't know if it's gonna apply the same here, but like I said, it's a bit early to use a lifeline, so I'm just gonna have to pull a shot in the dark on this one and say B, fault, final.
He's going with a fault. You ever heard of something like the San Andreas fault?
Oh, so I'm right!
Yeah, you are! You got $1,000.
What I knew San Andreas when you mention it, like, yep, there we go, because within the ring of fire, well, almost.
Almost. But almost is not really. You got $1,000. You're going for 2,000 now. You still have all three of your lifelines, which is great. Here's your next one for 2,000. Which of these is considered the father of all electronic games? Oh my god. Kong. Ping. Frogger. Pong.
This is interesting here. This is interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised Dan Klitzer's not an option.
Yeah, I know, right? The king of all electronic games. This is a tricky one, honestly. Really is. But I know it's kinda early to consider a lifeline.
But it doesn't hurt to use it if it keeps you in the game.
I know it's not Frogger, and I know it's not Kong, because I mean, Donkey Kong, hello. And I don't think I've ever heard of an electronic game called Ping. So, I'm gonna have to cross my fingers and not use a lifeline, since obviously with this one, you can guess whatever the heck you want and not lose a single penny. So I'm gonna go with... I hope this is not wrong. D Pong final. Well, I mean, before I go on, I know A and B are not real electronic game names. That's for one.
Yeah, your mind on the electronic games community has really corrupted your mind, but not enough to make it wrong. You got $2,000. Okay, Cody. Go for 4,000. As a wink to history, the hold music when you call the Watergate Hotel is often excerpts of speeches made by what U.S. president? Franklin D. Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon.
The only president I knew out of these who that was impeached for the Watergate crisis is Nixon. So I'm gonna go with Richard Nixon, D, final.
He wants Richard Nixon. Yeah, he was definitely a part of the Watergate scandal. You got $4,000. Doing good. You're getting pretty far. No lifelines yet. This is 8,000 we're playing with. Which of these did the Kruger Brewing Company put in cans for the first time? Tea, coffee, soda, beer.
When you hear brewing, it usually comes down to either coffee or beer, because you can't really brew soda or you brew tea. You really can't do that. But lately, I know when I'm in town, like in one of the biggest cities in my state, obviously, I hear a lot of brewing companies. But usually when they do, they sell alcohol like ales or beers or stuff like that, not really coffee. So I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna say D, beer. Final answer.
Alright. One beer. You had 4,000. You now have $8,000. Okay, this is where Zane got to last time, but he stumbled here. Here's your $16,000 question. What makes up approximately 70% of the human body? Oxygen, water, nitrogen, skin.
I do know that if we're talking about material, that we are most certainly not talking about skin, obviously. Nitrogen is harmful for the body, so I know that's not it. So between oxygen and water, I'm going to say that since water is inside of oxygen and its chemical concentration, and we consume water on a daily basis, I'm going to say it's B, water, final.
I've been taking a lot of those nitrogen capsules lately. That's probably why I've been feeling dizzy a lot. But hey, we're supposed to be able to water. You got $16,000. Not a single lifeline has been used yet, but hey, we're going for $32,000 and that second threshold. And here it is. What type of animal is a gnu? G-N-U. Goat. Sheep. Antelope. Horse.
Well, this one is a tricky one, I'll give you that. But I do know that with the animal name origin, I know it comes from Africa. And in Africa, they usually do not have goats or sheep or horses. So I'm gonna take the most likely one because I am 85% sure of this. I'm gonna say C, antelope, final.
He's going with antelope. You know, Africa doesn't have a lot of water there as well.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if we're talking about predator versus prey, I know goat, sheep, and probably even horse would most likely be the prey in this scenario. Would survive, less likely to survive than an antelope in the first place.
Yeah, but you want to know what also not a lot of people have?
32,000.
32,000 because that's what you got. Cody. Are we gonna have a millionaire on our first episode?
I don't know, maybe. I'm just glad I made it to get this far, you know. In the next question, I can just take a risk.
Yep. You're not risking anything. You're 5 away from the million. Here is 64,000, and you still have all 3 lifelines. A star and crescent moon are a symbol of which religion? Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, Shintoism.
This is a bit tricky because it can mean a lot of things. But I know the flag of Turkey has a certain star and a crescent right next to it. And if we take a look from medieval ages, those types of flags usually represent the religion of Islam. But I know Hinduism has a very similar type of flag. So it may vary on interpretation of things. But I'm going to go with my gut and say B, Islam final.
Islam.
I don't know if that's the flag and the symbols that we're talking about in particular, but I think that's what we're talking about.
I don't know what we're talking about at all. But what I do know is that you have $64,000. Cody, now we're getting into pretty dangerous territory because this next one is worth $125,000. Here it is. Which metal has the lowest boiling point? Celsium, beryllium, lithium, mercury.
Crap. This is the type of question that I am going to struggle with. I am not a chemistry expert, not anywhere close. But I do know there's one metal that can be like a liquid-ish or a solid-ish, something like that. And you can actually touch it without being in much danger. I know it's not cesium, I know it's not beryllium, I know it's not lithium, and the reason why I know this is because of its silver texture. And I believe if you touch it, that you do not have anything in your fingers whatsoever, like oil, for example, which can go into very dangerous temperature like this. So, I'm gonna base it off, I am 75% sure about this, not to the point where I'd use a lifeline yet. I'm gonna go with the mercury final.
Alright. You said you weren't a chemistry expert. And you went off with a guess.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really too sure about this. I know for metals, there's something about radioactivity and how it implicates with temperatures, varying how many atoms there are for each of the elements.
Yeah, well, the question was, which metal has the lowest boiling point? You said mercury. And you have $125,000. Dangerous, dangerous game you're playing, Cody. You still have all 3 lifelines. You're 3 away from the million. And we're going for $250,000 right now. Which of these is a note in music? Quaint, quadrat, quaver, quantanal, or quantal.
What the quant are you talking about?
I don't quanta know.
You know, I remember taking band classes and stuff like that, but I never went into music theory. So, this is really a stumper here. And I think it's something you don't know what you're talking about either, so I think one of those lifelines is already useless. So, as I take a look at the possible lifelines that we have in front of me here, there's two others that might be somewhat helpful. I don't know if anybody in the audience is a music theory expert at all, so here's what I am going to consider. And this is the lifeline I want to use the least, but given the topic, I may have to do this right now. Give me 50-50. Final answer.
All right, computer, we need 2 of the incorrect answers removed right away, please. You're left with Quaver and Quantal.
Well, that helps a little bit.
Yeah, but did it help you enough? That's what
I
I'm
don't know
asking.
what any of those are, so at the very least, all it did was to a small extent help me on terminology. That's all it did. Yeah. One a quasar. I don't know, this one.
Cody, I hate to rush you, but we really need to get the thing going.
Yeah, TJR's right. You gotta decide.
Fair enough.
You gotta decide if you want to use another lifeline or.
You're right. I think I'm gonna take a gamble here. I'm gonna say C. Final.
It says Quaver. You've risked a lot of money, like $93,000, I believe, on this question. And it just and it just turned around because you got $250,000. I don't know how you're doing this, but I'm in for the ride. You are now going for $500,000. Let's play. Which of these Stanley Kubrick films was made first? A Clockwork Orange, Dr. Strangelove, 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Shining.
I have heard of 2 of these. I have heard of Dr. Strangelove, and I have heard of A Space Odyssey. Space Odyssey, I believe, came out in 1990. So, I am very confident that one might not be it. I'm not so sure. But I have a very strange feeling that the Clockwork Orange is not the correct answer. I am keeping C in consideration, and I am keeping Dr. Strangelove in consideration, because I think The Shining is one of the latest movies, because I hear it in horror a lot. So between Strangelove and Space Odyssey, I want to say this one was more like about the Cuban Missile Crisis, so I'm going to say it's B, Dr. Strangelove, final.
He's going with Strangelove. Risking over $218,000 on a question, but he turns it around for $500,000.
Excuse
Cody.
me, Plush. I just need to place a quick fact check here to Cody Smart, and that is 2001: Space Odyssey, one of the most critically cultural important films of today's era, was actually released in 1969.
Aye.
Dang it, I was thinking of the wrong one.
Well, it didn't matter, but
okay.
hey.
I believe you were
right.
thinking of its lesser-known sequel, 2010, which came out in the 1980s.
Ooh, yep.
But
yep,
at least it did
that
not
makes
do
sense.
anything critical. But you are one question away. One more question from being the first millionaire on the channel. Are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
Alright, here's your $1 million question. who was the only wife of Henry VIII to bear him a male heir? Jane Seymour, Anne Boleyn, Catherine Howard, Catherine Parr.
Proper pronunciation is heir.
Yeah, it is hair and that one.
Noah's hair.
Oh no.
I had to make that joke.
No.
Want to play them here.
Pronunciation is air, as in oxygen, like breathable air.
You had to ruin a joke, didn't you?
Yeah. So honestly, I wish this was a fact I would have known a bit earlier. So I'm gonna use a lifeline. I know I've got 2 left.
You do.
I don't know if anyone here is an expert in medieval history, but I'm gonna at least give this a shot. Ask the host, Final.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I have absolutely no clue, but I'm gonna try to see what I can do here. Jane Seymour does not really jump to me. My history is very, very vague, but if I were to place my money on a roulette table with these 4 names, Anne Boleyn might have been the one, because I think if the Queen did not bear a male for Henry VIII, they would be beheaded. And I think that's what happened with Jane Seymour, Catherine Howard, and Catherine Parr. I'm going to tell you right now, I have no clue, but if I were to guess, I would say Anne Boleyn and make her my final answer. But you do have phone a friend still.
I do know that Jane Seymour was his final wife, and I know that this was around the time that King Henry did die, because he was died a married man. And he did not have any of these wives for a very long time, so I'm very confident it did not come from Jane Seymour, especially from the fact that they were in the middle of a war at that point. So I'm taking Jane Seymour out for certain. It's down to 3. And even though this might not be as helpful, to make sure my facts are straight, I am going to phone a friend, Final.
Okay, who do you want to call? Who do you want to call?
I don't know anybody who is a history major or anything like that. But if I know someone that is ahead of the academics, especially with research, of course, of questions, I am going to gamble with TGR.
Alright, we'll get TGR on the line very quickly now.
Hello, this is William.
Hello, TGR.
Yeah?
Hi, this is Flushworks again from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I got your friend Cody on the line.
I thought I blocked this number!
Well, too bad. We have a workaround. We have a VPN working. He's won $500,000. He's going for $1 million right now, and your decision could cost him $468,000. Now, Cody, you're going to have the same 30 seconds to talk it out with TGR, to read him the question, the 4 possible answers. Your time starts now.
Okay. Who was the only wife to Henry VIII to bear a male heir? Jane Seymour, Anne Boleyn, Catherine Howard, Catherine Parr.
Well, if I remember back, years ago I studied the case of Edward the Sixth. What was the 4th? I can't remember. And I think his mother was Jane Seymour. That was the last wife he had, I think, before Henry died. So if I'm going to guess, that's your best guess.
Time is up. Time is up. Okay, Cody, he said Jane Seymour was his guess.
Oh, that is not helpful. Because that means... He did have a valid point, though. He did have a valid point.
So now you gotta decide who you're gonna put your trust in. Are you gonna put it into TGR? Are you gonna put it into me? Go on your own, or just walk away from this thing?
This is not the greatest outcome for me. I'll say that. That is not the greatest outcome for me. I believe that he did indeed. I really? I know that he has studied this topic, so it's really tricky for me to come up with a decision. I will say that this has helped me to the point where I can eliminate some answers. I can eliminate C and D off the table. So, at
I'm
the end
sorry,
of the
Cody, to
day...
push you again, but we must continue the show.
He is
Alright,
the last contestant, by
alright.
the way.
Yes, we get that.
Yeah, but
So, after consideration and given that we got production over here, I'm just gonna trust... I'm gonna trust my friend who phoned me. Even though I disconsidered this in the first place, I'm gonna say A. Jane Seymour, final.
he's going with Jane Seymour. I can't believe you turned your back on me. I thought we were friends, Cody.
I know, I was considering M1 for a second, but after what I heard from TJR recently, it just made me change gears a little bit. You know, I've eliminated a couple of obvious answers. Let's just see if I picked the right one.
Well, I can't tell you if you did that. That's going to be the computer's job since you asked me. So, computer, show him if he's won $1 million or just made the biggest mistake of his life. You did it! You got it!
Woo!
$1 million! The first millionaire on the channel. Cody Smarthead. Case closed. How about that? That is how it's done. Excellent work, Cody. And hopefully, we get to see that mastery again, or security's probably going to kick you out of the building, just like Charles did on the British version. I don't know. Here's your check. We'll see you next time. And that's the horn, so that means we are all out of time for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I want to thank everyone for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. NJ Arcade, rock out. Good night, everybody.
NJ Arcade does not sponsor the He Wants to Be a Millionaire series on Plushy's Gaming Den.
I thought we hung him up.
I work here.
Oh well.